I'm Haley, 31, and 3 days ago, my boyfriend of 2 years told his friends I was faking a severe food allergy for attention. I overheard the entire conversation through our apartment's thin walls, and what I did next made him realize just how serious medical conditions actually are. I met Kieran when I was 29. He was 28, worked in event planning, and had this confident energy that drew people to him. We met at a friend's birthday party, hit it off, started dating. Things moved quickly. We were living together within 8 months. He was fun, spontaneous, always planning the next adventure or dinner party. I liked that about him. I thought we balanced each other out. I have a severe tree nut allergy, not a preference, not an intolerance. A legitimate, life-threatening allergy that I've had since childhood. Anaphylaxis level serious. I carry 2 EpiPens everywhere I go. I've been hospitalized twice in my life because of accidental exposure. Once when I was 7 and once when I was 19. It's not something I take lightly or use for sympathy. It's a medical reality I've managed my entire life. When Kieran and I started dating, I was upfront about it. I told him on our second date when he suggested we go to this trendy restaurant known for their almond-crusted dishes. I can't eat there, I said. I have a severe tree nut allergy. Almonds, walnuts, cashews, pecans, any of them could kill me. He'd been understanding. Said it was no problem. We'd find other places. And for the first year, he was great about it. He'd check ingredient lists, ask restaurant staff about cross-contamination, keep our apartment nut-free. I appreciated it. I told him multiple times how much it meant that he took it seriously. But around 6 months ago, things started changing. Small comments here and there. Are you sure you're that allergic? Have you tried building up a tolerance? My friend said most people with food allergies are just being dramatic. I'd explain each time that no, I couldn't build tolerance. That's not how anaphylactic allergies work. That my allergy had been confirmed by multiple allergists through blood tests and skin tests. That this wasn't something I could wish away or overcome through exposure. He'd nod, say he understood, but the comments kept coming. Then 3 months ago, he started getting annoyed when I'd ask about ingredients at restaurants or decline dishes at parties. You're making things difficult, he'd say. People think you're high maintenance. I'd remind him that I was trying not to die, and he'd roll his eyes. 2 weeks ago, we were invited to his friend Melissa's dinner party. Melissa had made this elaborate dessert, some kind of tart. When it was served, I politely declined, explaining I couldn't risk it without knowing all the ingredients. Kieran got visibly irritated. Haley, just try a bite, he said. Melissa worked hard on this. I said, no, I can't risk it, he huffed. You're embarrassing me. We fought about it on the drive home. He said I was using my allergy as an excuse to be difficult, that I liked the attention it brought me, that I was probably exaggerating how severe it was. I stayed calm, showed him my medical alert bracelet, reminded him of the hospital records from my past reactions. He waved it off. That was years ago. People change. Last Tuesday afternoon, Kieran had friends over. His core group, Melissa, Jenna, and Caroline. They were in the living room, having wine and snacks. I was in our bedroom with the door mostly closed, working on my laptop. Our apartment isn't huge, and the walls are thin. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I could hear their conversation clearly. Melissa brought it up. So, how's Haley doing with her whole nut thing? Kieran laughed. Oh my God. You mean her allergy? Honestly, I think she's making half of it up. What do you mean? Jenna asked. I mean, if she really had this severe, life-threatening allergy, she'd have proved it by now. She'd have had a reaction or something. But she just avoids everything and acts like she's going to die if a cashew gets within 5 feet of her. She just wants pity. They all laughed. Caroline said, that's so annoying. My ex used to do that with gluten. Turned out he was just being trendy. Exactly, Kieran said. I think Haley read about allergies online and decided it made her interesting. It's exhausting. Every restaurant we go to, every party, every meal, it's all about Haley and her special dietary needs. I'm so over it. Have you called her out on it? Melissa asked. I've hinted, but she has all these medical records and doctor's notes. Like, okay, maybe you had some reaction as a kid, but you're a grown woman now. Get over it. More laughter. Jenna said something about how people love to make themselves victims. Kieran agreed enthusiastically. I sat there listening, feeling cold. This man I'd been living with, sleeping next to, building a life with, he thought I was faking a medical condition for attention. He'd been mocking me to his friends, making me out to be some dramatic hypochondriac. I didn't confront him that day. I needed to think. That night at dinner, he acted completely normal, asked about my day, talked about plans for the weekend. I responded normally, gave no indication I'd heard anything, but inside, something had shifted. I couldn't unsee what he really thought of me. The next day, Wednesday, I took a long lunch break and went to my allergist's office. Dr. Patterson has been treating me for 15 years. I explained the situation, not the confrontation I was planning, just that I needed comprehensive documentation of my allergy for personal reasons. Haley, you know your allergy is severe, Dr. Patterson said. We have 15 years of records showing consistent positive results on skin tests and blood tests. Your Ig levels for tree nuts are extremely high. You've had 2 documented anaphylactic reactions requiring emergency treatment. There's no question about the severity. I know, I said, but I need it in writing. Everything. Test results, hospital records, the works. Can you compile that for me? She looked concerned. Is someone questioning your allergy? Something like that. She prepared a comprehensive medical report, 10 pages documenting every test, every reaction, every emergency room visit, complete with technical medical terminology and her professional assessment that my allergy was severe, legitimate, and life-threatening. I had her notarize it. I also stopped by a medical supply store and bought something specific, a small training kit that medical professionals use to educate people about using EpiPens. It contained an expired, non-functional EpiPen trainer and educational materials about anaphylaxis, the kind of thing schools and community centers use for allergy awareness training. Thursday night, I worked late and came home around 9 p.m. Kieran was already in bed reading. I said goodnight, took a shower, and then prepared what I needed. I placed a small bag on Kieran's nightstand. Inside was the medical report from Dr. Patterson, printed photos from my childhood hospital visits, and the EpiPen trainer clearly labeled training device, non-functional. I also included a handwritten note. Since you think I'm faking this for attention, here's 15 years of medical documentation proving otherwise. The EpiPen trainer is so you can educate yourself on what I have to carry everywhere to stay alive. Maybe you should read this before you mock me to your friends again. Then I went to sleep in the guest room. I heard him come to bed around 10:30 p.m., heard him moving around, then silence. Then I heard his breathing change, sharper, faster. Papers rustled as he went through the medical report. The silence stretched for probably 20 minutes. Then he knocked on the guest room door. Haley, can we talk? I'm tired. Tomorrow, Haley, please. I saw what you left. I need to explain. There's nothing to explain, I said. You made yourself clear to Melissa, Jenna, and Caroline. You think I'm faking a medical condition for pity. You're embarrassed by me. I heard every word. Silence. Then you heard that? He said quietly. Every word, Tuesday afternoon, thin walls. Haley, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean... You absolutely meant it. You laughed with your friends about how I'm making up a life-threatening allergy for attention, I said. You called me exhausting. You said I should just get over it. I was venting, he said. I was frustrated. Frustrated by what? I asked. By me trying not to die? By carrying EpiPens everywhere? By asking about ingredients so I don't end up in the hospital? I could hear him crying through the door. I'm sorry, he said. I'm so sorry. Can you please come out so we can talk? Read the medical report, I said. Look at the photos from when I was 7 and my throat closed up at a birthday party. Look at the one from when I was 19 and accidentally ate something with walnut oil. Look at my test results. Read Dr. Patterson's assessment. Then tell me again how I'm faking this for attention. He didn't respond. I heard him walk away. Update 1. Friday morning, I got up early and went to work. Kieran was still sleeping, or pretending to sleep. I left without saying goodbye. Throughout the day, he sent me multiple texts. Apologies, explanations, promises that he didn't really think I was faking it, that he'd just been stressed and said things he didn't mean. I didn't respond until 5 p.m. Did you read the medical report? Yes, all of it. Haley, I had no idea it was this serious. I told you it was this serious multiple times. You chose not to believe me. I'm sorry. Can we please talk tonight? I'll be home at 7. When I got home, Kieran was sitting on the couch with the medical report spread out in front of him. His eyes were red from crying. The EpiPen trainer was on the coffee table next to educational materials he'd apparently printed out about anaphylaxis. I'm sorry, he said immediately. I'm so sorry. I read everything. I looked up anaphylaxis. I watched videos about allergic reactions. Haley, I didn't understand how serious this was. Yes, you did, I said. I told you multiple times. You just didn't want to believe it because it inconvenienced you. That's not fair, isn't it? I said. You literally told your friends I was faking this for pity, that I like the attention, that I should get over it. I was wrong, he said. I was so wrong. I don't know why I said those things. You said them because you believe them, I said, because having a girlfriend with a medical condition is embarrassing to you, because you'd rather I risk my life than make things difficult at parties. He was crying hard now. That's not true. I love you. I just didn't fully understand. You didn't want to understand, I said. There's a difference. What can I do? He asked. How can I fix this? I don't know if you can, I said. Update 2. Over the weekend, Kieran tried everything. He apologized constantly. He called Melissa, Jenna, and Caroline and told them he'd been completely wrong about my allergy, that it was real and serious, and that he'd been a terrible person for mocking it. He researched restaurants with strict allergen protocols. He threw out every item in our kitchen that contained tree nuts, even things that said may contain traces. I want you to feel safe here, he said Saturday afternoon. I want to prove I take this seriously. It's not about proving it now, I said. It's about the fact that you didn't believe me for months, that you mocked me to your friends, that you called me exhausting. I know I was awful, he said, but people can change. I can change. Can you? I asked. Or are you just embarrassed that you got caught? He couldn't answer that. Sunday night, his mother called me. Kieran had apparently told his parents what happened. Haley, honey, she said. Kieran told me about the misunderstanding. It wasn't a misunderstanding, I said. He told his friends I was faking a medical condition. She said you were faking? She asked, shocked. Yes, I said, that's not a misunderstanding. That's a fundamental lack of respect. She's mortified, his mother said. She made a terrible mistake, but don't you think you were a bit harsh leaving that bag for her to find like that? He needed to see the evidence, I said, since he didn't believe me when I told him. I'm just saying, would you prefer I ended up in the hospital trying to prove my allergy was real? I asked. Of course not, she said quickly. Then the bag wasn't harsh, I said. It was documentation. She went quiet. You're right, she said finally. I'm sorry. He was wrong. Update 3. It's been 2 weeks since the Nightstand incident. Kieran and I are still living together, but I've moved my things into the guest room. We're in this strange limbo where we're technically still together, but I haven't decided if I can actually forgive him. He's been different, reading articles about food allergies, asking genuine questions about my medical history, being proactive about checking ingredients. He even found a support group for partners of people with severe allergies and asked if I'd want him to attend meetings. But I can't shake what he said. She just wants pity. Every time I look at him, I hear that voice, that laugh. I hear his friends joining in. I remember months of him rolling his eyes at my medical needs, acting like I was being dramatic. Yesterday, we had our first real conversation since everything happened. Where do we go from here? He asked. I don't know, I said. You spent 2 years with me, knew about my allergy from day one, and still decided I was faking it. What does that say about us? It says I was ignorant and selfish, he said. But I'm learning. I'm trying to be better. You're trying now because you got caught, I said. If I hadn't overheard that conversation, you'd still be mocking me to Melissa and Jenna. You'd still be rolling your eyes when I ask about ingredients. Maybe, he said. Probably. But does that mean I can't change? Does one awful mistake mean we're done? It wasn't one mistake, I said. It was months of dismissing my medical condition, months of making me feel like a burden. You're right, he said. It was. And I'm sorry. But I'm asking if there's any chance you can forgive me. Final update. It's been 6 weeks since I left that bag on the nightstand. Kieran and I broke up 3 weeks ago. It wasn't dramatic or angry. We just both realized that I couldn't trust him anymore, and he couldn't undo what he'd said. He moved in with Melissa temporarily. The irony isn't lost on me. He's looking for his own place. We divided our things amicably. He took what was his. I kept what was mine. He cried while packing, kept apologizing. I stayed calm, helped him load boxes. I really am sorry, he said when he was leaving. I learned something from this. I'll never dismiss someone's medical condition again. Good, I said. Learn that lesson. Just learn it somewhere else. He nodded and left. I'm doing okay. The apartment feels emptier, but more peaceful. I'm not constantly worried about being mocked or having to defend my medical reality. I'm just living, managing my allergy like I always have, without someone making me feel guilty for trying to stay alive. A few friends have asked if I was too harsh, if leaving those medical documents was over the top, My answer is no. He didn't believe me when I used words. He needed to see irrefutable proof. If that was harsh, so be it. My medical condition isn't up for debate or mockery. Kieran texted me last week. I saw a woman at Starbucks with a medical alert bracelet. Made me think of you. It made me realize how many people I probably dismissed before understanding their reality. Thank you for teaching me that lesson, even though I lost you in the process. I didn't respond. He learned something. That's good. But I'm not his teacher or his redemption arc. I'm just a woman with a medical condition who deserves a partner who believes her without needing a notarized medical report as proof. I'm Haley, 31, severely allergic to tree nuts, single, living alone, and honestly, I'm okay with that. Better alone than with someone who thinks your medical condition is a ploy for attention. That's enough for me.